Sounds more than what Cyberpunk did. Well, yeah, maybe. I'm just trying to set your expectations to a point where I don't have to worry about you going like, I'm gonna be able to like run around when I meet this dude. He's gonna ask me like 8 questions, and any one of those 8 questions will lead me down these paths and meet new characters that you didn't meet but I met, and then they're gonna ask me if I want to do this job, and if I do it, this will happen. But if I refuse, this will happen, and this random event will happen. Blah blah blah. Like, it's not like that kind of thing. In fact, I would argue most games aren't at this point. No worries, I'm done with expectations for good. Been a while. I'm hearing this sentiment from people lately that they're just like done expecting things, and in one way, I'm like, well, of course, your expectations should be met at some point. Like they has to at some point, I assume. But at the same time, what a state in gaming where people are just done expecting things. Last year, I started feeling that way, especially after like 3 games being completely off from what it was supposed to be. So I get it to a certain extent. For good, been a while. Open world games of the scale are extremely rare. To go full non-linear doesn't seem possible. Would need a way longer dev cycle. I think that is the problem, is the scale and development of games now. To put that standard into an open world game is something that, like, back in the day we had to work up to the point of making these games, and now it's like a reboot where you got to work up to the point to be able to do it with the current tech to at least make us a modern day game. You could probably do it with like lesser graphics, but no AAA developer is going to do that because they value trying to wow you with graphics too much. But it is interesting. The only company I know or dev I can think of that's going to do anything like insane that I don't feel like will disappoint in the sense of like scale in a big open world game is Rockstar making GTA 6. But they take their time. And I'm not saying like it's going to be an RPG. I'm just saying like when GTA 6 comes out, there will not be anything like it. It will be on its own. I'm hoping to see Bethesda return to their roots and be like this inventive, revolutionary force in gaming, because they were that at one time and they're not anymore. And I'm hoping this long break of relying on Skyrim and disasters like Fallout 76 for money has allowed them to up their game and evolve as a company with Starfield and Elder Scrolls. But I have no reason to believe anything on that. So, but it would be cool. I would love, because they're the ones who made me realize that I was like, holy shit, you can make these living, breathing worlds in Morrowind and back then, and you can have all these choices and you have this freedom to do whatever the fuck you want. Like, I can literally just like take anyone's house or buy this house or blah 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 blah, and then they just used that same engine and formula nonstop and barely evolved it. But there was a time where they were the ones that made everybody else feel like they had to do that. But I don't think they're going to do it again. Hype trains are fun to be on. Been on a few, but there's a limit to how much you want to disappoint yourself. Yeah, that's why I keep my expectations realistic, and that's obviously subjective, but I try to allow myself to get hyped for stuff, and not in a disappointed way, not in a like protect myself from being disappointed way, not in a negative way, but more so just like whatever happens, happens. I can't control that, and I want good games, and I'll support good games, but the industry at this, we're getting back into a point in the industry, gaming industry, where people are going to start valuing indie games again. Like they never stopped valuing them, but there's a time there around like 2008 where AAA wouldn't take risks for like years until like 2012, 14, and everyone just went to indie games because they were the only ones that had the balls to try new ideas, explore cool shit, and they didn't have the budget, but they had the passion. And then AAA started taking fucking risks again, but now we're getting to this point where AAA is relying on basic systems, incapable of releasing finalized products, and getting inventive on new ways to monetize their already heavily monetized games. And so their ambitions are fucking shit. I mean, Ubisoft is horrible at this point. Activision Blizzard is horrible. We'll see how they are under Xbox. And no one gives a fuck about EA. Respawn's doing good. That's about it. So, I mean, there's a couple AAA companies out there that are doing good. But, like, any of the big ones, they're all shit. So you gotta rely on, like, these mid-tier devs, which is, like, the safe place, or indies. So there's going to be a strong rejection of the market, especially when I hear talking points of people saying that they're done being hyped for things. That's a growing talking point I'm hearing. That's going to manifest into something. The amount of people I know who didn't even attempt to buy Battlefield 2042 because they heard so much negative stuff about it, and then people like me who bought it and refunded it like instantly. That's just going to keep happening with fucking games that they keep shitting out in hopes to get a quick buck. I mean, the whole NFT push is fucking ridiculous because no one's interested in it, and then Ubisoft wants to insult people by saying either you don't understand, which not either, that you don't understand and that's why you don't want the NFTs. And it's like, well, there's two sides to that. Fucking, if you don't understand it and don't want to buy it, that's enough. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you fucking don't understand it. If you don't want to fucking buy their shit, you don't want to buy their shit. They got to accept that. But here's the thing, too. NFTs aren't that fucking complicated. A lot of people know what the hell NFT is, and they don't want your bullshit. I'm big on Bethesda idea of game design. They just can't execute it anymore. That's kind of what I'm saying with AAA in general, is they can't execute anything at this point. Much as people hate on it, sometimes me included, there are no alternatives to their games. I don't get how Ubisoft thought that NFT nonsense was going to fruit. Dude, the NFT thing's fucking stupid because, like, the only people who are excited for NFTs are the people trying to sell them to you. Whether they made NFTs and try to sell them to you, or they were dumb enough to buy the NFT and now they're trying to make some value out of it by pretending that it's fucking dope and you should buy it from them. I mean, the future of games where I sit here and develop a game like I always have before, but now I'm looking at every single fucking chunk of that game as a way to monetize and sell it to somebody who I assume fucking cares about my game so much that they want to say that they have the serial code to the only one to the shirt that the main character wears. Imagine if fucking Metal Gear Solid came out right now and NFTs were accepted and somebody's like, I own the bandana Solid Snake wears. And they're like, well, in my game, that's my bandana. It's like, no. You're using my bandana. I own it. I bought it from Konami. I have the serial number for it. Like, it sounds fucking horrible. And most people don't give a shit about that. But big companies think that they can monetize every fucking little piece of the game eventually and sell it to you. Because you're a big fan. You're going to want to give them that money. And it's insulting. It's like, fuck fun, fuck having or enjoying yourself playing a game and losing yourself to it. Let's make it a catalog. Let's make it a fucking, you open up the catalog and start picking what you want to buy from us. We put the hard work into making these 3D models, buy them from us. Literally an in-game item with serial number on it. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. It's stupid. And it's insulting, and I reject NFTs. I think the technology is interesting, and I think there is things in the future that it could be interesting with, especially if you're playing like some digital metaverse type thing. If you wanted to get into that, some kind of VR world where you want to say you own land or whatever. Once we get to the point where that makes sense and that is actually a thing that people care about, it starts making sense there. But we're not in a realm where NFTs make sense, and to just start trying to get money from people by selling fucking shit that no one gives a shit about is insulting. It's stupid. Nobody wants it, and I'm so proud of. It's the one time I'm proud of the gaming community for just rejecting this shit, whether they do know what NFTs are or don't know what NFTs are. Everybody's like, I don't want your bullshit. across the board. Troy Baker, who I respect as a voice actor, he tried to fucking peddle NFTs, and everybody was instantly was like, "We're disappointed in you." And he's like, "Oh well, I'll do some research and figure it out." And then eventually he just fucking canceled it. He's like, "I'm not going to do the NFT thing." It's like, good, stay the hell away from it, because what you're doing is you're insulting your fan base, because you're trying to take advantage of them even if you don't know it. It's hilarious to me. I know companies rely on mass idiocy, but this one, everyone went. I'll just stop you right there, bro. Exactly. And I was so happy. So happy to see that. I'm like, I'm glad, whether you know what NFTs or not, or if you don't. Everyone's just across the board like, what are you trying to sell to me? I don't want that. I just want to play a fun game. You can't even do that. You can't even release a full fucking game. And you want me to buy things from you that just say I own it? That's stupid. It's fucking stupid. Anyway, I gotta hop off. It's been fun. I don't get to rant much on the show. Probably should do it more often. But yeah, I will talk to you later, Ryder, and anybody else watching. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon.